everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. It's going to be my top 10. It's not going to be like ranked or anything or any order. It's going to be just like 10 underrated like horror movies that I feel like everybody should at least see once in their life. But before I actually do that, there is a convention today in my town, and we don't really have like any sort of convention or anything, and this one was just kind of an indigenous like comic convention. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I just picked up a few comics, so I'll go ahead and just show those off real quick. I definitely prefer like Marvel for like my like main source of comics, but yeah, the first one is Fantastic Four number 257, and that's basically Galactus is dying out and everything, kind of how like the universe will be affected out of all that and everything. And then the next one is A Thing battles the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the original Guardians are my favorite. They're the Ravagers, and the MCU Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's pretty cool too. Like Martin X and Yondu and everything. And the next one is Thanos Infinity Abyss number 1. The cool thing about that story is just like different versions of Thanos are coming together to kind of like take over everything, make it doomsday, as they say. So the next one is the Mighty Thor. He's going against the Gladiator. That one's pretty dope. And then finally, the last one is Daredevil, and he's got I always pick my comics because the covers, but yeah, with different like monsters and everything. That's just really cool. It's the most modern one out of the ones I picked up. But yeah, that's all I got with that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start in with the actual video that I had planned. So the first movie is Stephen King's Rose Red. This one is definitely like I think his most underrated movie or anything that he's done out of his entire career. And the story, it follows like this haunted like mansion that's in Seattle, Washington, and people have gone missing over the decades, like dozens of people, and the paranormal team, they go like sidekicks and stuff, go to investigate and everything. But yeah, definitely one that I grew up on. And yeah, it's one that everybody I feel like should watch at least once for sure. The next one is a more modern Shudder original, Random Acts of Violence. It's got Jay Baruchel from $1 Million Baby and Jordana Brewster. That one's pretty cool. It's basically a comic book like that's based off of a real life serial killer in that universe, and like the killer, I guess, takes offense or something or to the comics, and whenever the writer for the comic like comes through town and everything, he chases him down, trying to kill him and everything. But that one's pretty cool. It also has like some like Christmas kind of like elements to it. If you want to watch it around Christmas time, I mean, it would match. But the next one is Headless Horseman. This one is a great Halloween time movie. Yeah, it's basically a bunch of kids on Halloween are going to a party, and they get lost on a detour and everything. And then one by one they start getting their head chopped off by the Headless Horseman. Not much to it, but it's kind of like the original kind of Sleepy Hollow story, but if you mix in the 2001 Maniacs, kind of like those two mixed together. But yeah, that was a Sci-Fi original movie. And this next one I also watched for the first time on Sci-Fi, and that is The Grave Dancers. And that one's kind of self-explanatory. It's about a group of people who dance on the graves of like different murderers and stuff, and then those murderers come back as ghosts, I guess pissed off that they desecrated their graves and stuff. But yeah, that one's pretty great too. Yeah, one of them is like, one of the ghosts is like a pyro kid, so like the guy's getting random fires throughout his house and stuff, and then the other one is like a Lizzie Borden kind of ghost, like with an axe and everything. But yeah, that one's pretty dope. The next one is Holidays, and it's an anthology film. Came out in 2016. This movie is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, there's many reasons to like it for sure. Yeah, it's Seth Green in it. He's in the Christmas Story one, and then yeah, there's Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, and that one is actually my favorite one out of, because the Easter one is just so like batshit crazy and campy. You know, it's my style. But and then the next one is Mother's Day, Father's Day, and then Halloween, then Christmas and New Year's. And the New Year's one is really fun as well. But yeah, and the next movie here I've got Trick or Treat. It's cool as fuck because you got, you know, Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne in it. It's so 80s. It's the height of like Satanic Panic and everything. And yeah, you've got music from the highly underrated Fastway. Like there's a bunch of bangers in this one for sure. And they made a bunch of other good songs too. Definitely check them out on Spotify. But yeah, this movie is easily like one of my all-time favorites. One of the ones that I like grew up watching with my mom and everything. Yeah, they don't make stuff like this anymore. Like there's like demon creatures that are like coming out of the like headphones and shit, and then yeah, Sammy Kerr is such a badass character too. He's like this rock legend that kills himself in his hotel room, but he puts his soul into his final record, and whenever that record's played, he like comes out of the music and kills people, I guess. But it's good. I love it. The next one is the Indonesian horror classic Mystics in Bali. Yeah, this movie is pretty cool. It's got like a witch, like, so the story is like some journalists, I guess, are trying to figure out the truth behind there being a witch out in these woods and stuff, and they go check and everything, and the girl, I guess, starts to become a witch on her own as well. And so yeah, there's that story, but then also people are turning into snakes, and there's a head that floats around with like entrails, you know, and it like eats babies and stuff. Yeah, that one's cool. It's great. It's memorable, definitely unique. But yeah, that came out in like 81, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The next one is my all-time favorite slasher movie, and that is Sleepaway Camp. It's gained a little bit of traction recently, it's getting more popular and stuff. But yeah, it definitely deserves all the recognition in the world, because this movie is just so memorable. Whenever I first watched it for the first time, I literally like stood up and gave it a standing ovation for like 5 minutes, because like it just like shocked me, and in a good way, you know. It was so good. It was so good. The kills were memorable, you know. The story is just so unique and like different than anything else. And even in the 80s, like, you know, at the height of like horror, where like everything, you got a little bit of everything, you know. And this definitely one that really, yeah, it definitely stands out. Excuse me. This last one though is a New Zealand film, The Ugly, and I wouldn't have never heard of this if it wasn't for like I grew up on the DVD, the Boogeyman the Killer compilation, and that's got like just like different scenes from different horror movies of like famous slashers, and like basically the icons like Candyman, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, all of them. And Simon Cartwright, the main character, that guy, he was featured in the movie as well. And like ever since then, I knew like I had to watch it, and I didn't watch it until I was, I don't know, maybe 16, something like that. But yeah, it's basically the New Zealand version of American Psycho, like 4 years before American Psycho came out. It really deals with like a lot of like the mental illness of like somebody being a murderer, and just kind of like, you know, like how somebody's trauma can affect their future and everything. And there's really good metaphors for like trauma and personal demons and stuff. But yeah, this is definitely up there, especially if you're into stuff like that, like American Psycho, or that movie Identity is kind of like in a sense like that too. But yeah, I tried to make it a little bit of a quick video, but yeah, just 10 movies that I like that I felt like I should share with everyone. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment. If you want to get notifications whenever I make new videos, hit the bell down at the by the button. But yeah, until next time, see you guys later.